Hey everyone, how are you all doing? Today I'm going to be taking a look at the Marvel Legends Hasbro Pulse exclusive Daredevil the Man Without Fear 3-pack of Daredevil, Elektra in her white suit, and then Bullseye, and I'm beyond thrilled to have this. We have for so long desperately needed a good, articulated, just put together classic Daredevil, and this is not it. I'm gonna be real honest. I have things here that I'm gonna use for a video that's gonna be after this video that I'm going to make to upgrade this Daredevil. But at stock, he's great. He's fine, but he's not perfect. And I think that Daredevil deserves nothing less than perfection. It's, like trying to, putting the toes on the Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends 3-pack. Obviously, this is what I was hoping we'd get, and I took these off, which those are part of that as well. But yeah, I took these off. But, this is what it should have been, to be honest. And we got him on the Through Your Vow Spidey mold instead, which offers a great amount of articulation. Don't get me wrong, and we will get into that here in a minute. But, of course, I got to do the introduction and blabber on for a couple minutes. But the Elektra, she's great. I definitely want to change this head out change this head and lower this headpiece a little bit because I feel like it sits a little high. Bullseye, he's great. I kind of wish he was pinless to match the two of them, but that's okay. I think that they should make some pinless limbs for the Sunfire body, and I think the Sunfire body would just be beautiful for so many characters. But as is, that's all right. I'm going to switch out some parts, and I'm going to make him the best Daredevil. And I'm going to show you guys how I do it too, because I tested it before I actually got these pieces on different, the same body mold, but obviously not this Daredevil, and it worked perfectly. So when I do that, you guys can upgrade your Daredevil too. Because the biggest problem for me with this Daredevil is his proportions. But we'll get into that when we get into the details of the figure. But first, of course, we got to start with accessories. And the two things that they do not come with that I have shown here are the splayed out hands for Elektra, or the splayed out hand, because that is actually spinnerets, and I wanted to see if the white matched up, which it does, and it looks really good. So if you have the spinneret 2-pack, you can put this on Elektra and add just a little bit of extra something to her, because I think it's cool. She looks like that. But yeah, this just sits up a little high, and it might just be glued wrong on mine, because if you look, there is kind of a gap right there, but it's not terrible by any means. It's just a little off, and I think that the head sculpt on this is beautiful. But we're not talking about the detail right now. These figures all look beautiful. But they come with, okay. But other than what they don't come with, because Bullseye I put the pistol from Iron Knife in his hand, and I also slit his finger so he could have a trigger finger, because we didn't get a trigger finger with Bullseye, which is so weird. And we also didn't get a gun, but he also comes with a holster. But anyway, yeah, those are some of the complaints that I have out of the way, just real quick, I guess. But let's get into the accessories proper here. So Elektra comes with 2 hands for holding her scythes, which these look really good, or her size. These look really good. I like these. The same ones we got with the, I'm assuming, yeah, the Netflix Elektra is what came first, I believe, before the comic book one. I think this looks good. I like her size and her hands. But this hand back here is the one that has the spread out fingers, so she can hold it that way. And I kind of wish we had that option for both, but that's all right. And then for Elektra, we also get a pair of fists. And these are the same ones that we've seen for a long time for the female figures. They look good. Then we also get this absolutely beautiful head sculpt. This thing is just a beautiful monster. This hair is so heavy. The makeup on it looks good. The print for this looks really nice. I love the hair and the eye color and the lips. Everything just looks really good on it. Her hair is crazy, which matches the art style of, I don't remember what the name of the artist is, but someone will tell me in the comments, I'm sure. But this thing on this body, she cannot stand. And she probably could if you got her into a proper stance, but if you're just trying to stand her in a vanilla pose, she's not going to stand. She is going to fall backwards, and it's going to be a travesty. But then on to Matt, because he actually comes with less than Bullseye. So as you can see on Matt, we get the grip hands and his batons, which, we've seen those countless times. But we also get a pair of fists, which are awesome. The pegs are also smaller. I'm not sure what that's about, but the pegs are smaller. So I don't know what's going on with that, but it doesn't make them fit any loose. It doesn't make them fit loose or anything like that. But then something else that a lot of people have done already, but you can take the US Agent and the Captain America hands, and you can put them on this Daredevil because the reds match up decently well. So that is something that is very cool and an awesome way to upgrade the figure. And now onto Bullseye. He comes with, as I said, this hand was just a grip hand, but I slit the finger so it could be a trigger finger hand. But then he comes with the throwing knife hand, which I don't like how the plastic has turned yellow here. It looks gross. But also, when it comes to these throwing effects and stuff like that, they did this for Captain America too. Well, actually, Captain America was accurate because it went to the side, but it went to the wrong side. Because realistically, the effect should be coming off the side of like the back of the hand, because if you're going to throw something, unless he's throwing it going down to up, it's not going to come out straight of the hand. Like if he's going to throw it to the side like that, like most of the time they do showing comics and whatnot, it would come off the side. But either way, that's not, you know, it's neither here nor there. Most of us aren't really going to use it, to be honest. But it's cool. I like it. And I believe that is the same one that came with the old Bullseye as well. And I believe that old Bullseye also came with a revolver, I think. But I don't have that figure, unfortunately. And I'm glad that I don't, because I actually kind of like the blue on this one better. But he comes with this hand, which is my favorite hand in the entire set. I don't know what it is, but just this kind of like, it's very cocky for him to have this, you know, just, you know, shooty bang bang hand. And I think it looks good. And he also gets this head sculpt, which is very nice. I like this one. Same exact one that we got with the other one. And I believe so is this one, which is just crazy. But of course, these all are 3D printed, or not 3D printed. These all, of course, have printing on them, which this one looks so realistic. And it's kind of crazy and it's kind of scary. And I don't know how I feel about it in the best way. But he also comes with a grip hand for the other side, too. This is what the other one looked like before I slit the finger. And standard hinges. And also, his hinges are a little smaller, too. I wonder why they're doing that. I'm not upset about it, though. And I also lied. There are more accessories for everybody else, actually, because a pair of fists for Bullseye, which look really good. There's a sword for Elektra or Bullseye or Daredevil, which one you want to give it to, but should be obviously more so for Elektra. Looks good. I like it. Pretty much the same one we've seen for a very long time. But I don't know how I forgot these, because these are actually cool. They're kind of worthless because they, truthfully, are just, like, one's a reuse and one, they're both just so kind of heavy. But he has these wires for, you know, posing like him throwing his billy clubs. So that's really cool. They just poured in like the old ones do. They got the nice kind of textured rope detail. And this one's the new one. That's why it looks so clean. Then if you look at this one, which is a redo, it's a little bit softer on the detail. But this is the one that came with the Shadowland Daredevil. Still really cool and nice inclusion, and I'm glad that they did. But now let's get into the detail of all these guys, because it took forever to get to them. And I will not be going over the articulation because of the fact that we have all three of these figures, you know, in tons of body molds already. So if you are looking for the articulation, sorry about that, but I have reviews of all three of these body molds on the channel, so you'll know exactly what you're getting. But let's take a look at Matt first, if Bullseye would kind of get out of the way. So obviously, Matt is the price of admission here. Like, that's the whole reason that everyone wanted this pack anyway. And I like the head sculpt. I think the red for his logo and his eyes should be just a little bit brighter or darker or something. Clearly, I probably lean more towards darker because of, you know, my custom that I made. But I think it looks okay. I think it matches. They kind of went the route of taking that classic one that we got, like 2015, and making it more modern. And I think that's cool. Well, I guess more modern in terms of the articulation of the body and whatnot, but more classic, actually, because it's just straight up red. There's no differentiation between the boots and his gloves like there are on the current looks for Daredevil. His holster, though, is actually a new piece too, which is really nice. I thought that would be just reuse as well, and it's actually not, so that's pretty cool. Same with the belt, but it looks good. His head looks a little big, and the reason why I think his head looks big is because his shoulders are very small, and I have a fix for that. Like I said, I will be making a video and I will show you guys how to improve this figure, and it's actually very simple and very easy, and all you'll need literally is 2 figures. And I think they're both, one of them's pretty cheap for sure, and the other one may be cheap, but I haven't looked into it because I've had that figure for a while, so I haven't actually looked to see what the price is of it now. But of course with this mat we get the toe joints as well, which I personally don't need on a mat, but it's cool to have, you know, and I'm going to take them away, but they're cool to have. And that's really all that it is, because he's just this one solid red color, and Bullseye's trying to fall over again. But the biggest problem that I have with them using the Renew Your Vows Spidey, other than the shoulders, because that, I would say, is actually the biggest problem for me, are his shoulders. I think because you could definitely just get him into a pose and change this other problem that I have. But if you bring in the Amazing Fantasy Spidey body, they're so close in height, and I just don't think that that's right. And I didn't mean to rhyme, but I'm kind of getting a little ahead of myself by doing size comparison. But look at how much taller Steve is than Matt. I feel like Matt should be a complete, like, in the middle between Cap and Peter. I just don't think that this looks right. But, it might be somebody's thing. It's just personally not mine. And I'm going to change it on mine. And you, of course, do whatever you want. It's your figure. But, yeah, so that's pretty much all that there is for Matt. And, good for what it is. And it can be better. It's good, but it can be better. And then as for Bullseye, he is the same one that we got. He's got the black and white and all that stuff. His hands, I'm going to have to cut the peg because they are sticking out a little bit. I'm not sure what's going on with that. He has the holster. Oh, yeah, I forgot he comes with a knife, too. Sorry about that. It's just cast in black. They didn't do the silver or anything, so that's why I forgot about it. But he's got the black and white lines. And then they gave him the blue torso, which matches one of the covers. I don't know if he actually had that look, but I know it matches one of the covers. So, but I actually kind of like it. I think it breaks up the look of him, and it makes him stand out a little bit more. And I think if we see him in the MCU, which I hope he's played by Wilson Duffel again, because loved seeing Wade as Poindexter. That was so cool. But yeah, I mean, he's pretty much just the same one we got. And then Elektra, she is also pretty much the same one that we got, but she's pinless and in her white costume and with a new head. So basically, she's almost completely different. But she looks great. I love this figure. I think the white looks awesome. I think her eyes look beautiful. She has almost purple eyes, which I'm just now noticing on the camera. That's really cool. Yeah, she does. She has purple eyes. I kind of wish the wraps were sculpted on instead of painted, but that's okay. Because, I mean, her whole outfit pretty much is skin tight other than the sash. So, like, it makes sense. They can get away with it. And the skin tone changed, too. Like, from head being molded in her skin tone to it just being painted on for, like, the legs and whatnot. I think it matches up very nice. Definitely a lot nicer than all the other ones that we've ever gotten of a lot of stuff like that. And now on to some size comparisons, even though I already showed you a couple. So here they are next to the Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends 3-pack Amazing Fantasy Spider-Man body. This, you know what I'm talking about. The Amazing Fantasy Red and Blue Peter. And then the 20th Anniversary Captain America. And I think this looks good. I think Bullseye and Elektra look good. I still think Matt needs to be just a tad tall. And speaking of taller and broader, here he is next to both Superman from Mafex and the Mezco Netflix Daredevil. And I think this looks good as well. See, like, this is more the height that I think he should be. Is a little bit closer to the Netflix one. Overall, I enjoy this. I know I've kind of shit on the Daredevil itself a little bit. And, I completely forgot to show off him next to, like, height-wise next to my custom. So, yeah, that's too tall. But I couldn't really do anything about that. So, like, a solid middle ground between these two would be perfect. This Daredevil, he's good, but he can be better. Elektra, love her. I'm going to fix that. I'm going to try to lower her headband thing a little bit, just to try and get that to set down a little bit more on her head. I think it'll look better. Bullseye, I wish he was pinless, but not a big deal because his joints are a little gummy. But other than that, perfect. Daredevil, other than his shoulders, honestly, that's the biggest gripe for me, or just his shoulders. So yeah, that's going to do it for me, and I will catch you guys in the next one. See ya.